Buenos dias. Today's Monday. It is March 30th. And today we are transitioning from that imperfect tense, which described repeated past actions or descriptions in the past, or any type of description in the past regarding time, date, weather, emotions, ongoing actions, to what's called the preterite tense. So this preterite tense, there's a couple of different pieces of this. So what we're going to focus on today is the first part, which are regular and cargo verbs. So this PowerPoint actually follows the filled in notes in your new module, Module 9, and that's for Docs 9.1, 9.3, and 9.5. So this PowerPoint follows right along, but for today, we're just going to focus on the notes in 9.1, which is the first part of this PowerPoint. And you're going to need this information to complete the work for tomorrow, Tuesday, March 31st, which is going to be Doc 9.2. So if you look through the PowerPoint, El Preterito, which you should remember from 8th grade, we started this in 8th grade. The preterite is used to describe events or actions that took place and were completed in the past. So this is a completed past action. The imperfect was either an ongoing action in the past or a repeated action in the past. The preterite tells you that something happened and it's over. So for example, if I said yesterday I watched a movie, that's the preterite because it's a completed past action. But if I said when I was a little kid, I used to watch movies every Saturday, that's the imperfect because A, we're stating a general time in the past, and B, we're just saying what you used to do. And you did it every Saturday. So it's a repeated past action. The preterite is telling you it happened at this specific time and it's over. So our regular verb endings in the preterite, so our AR verbs go a, aste, o, amos, astais, and aron. Aste, o, amos, aron. That's our song for the AR regular preterite endings. Now our ER and IR, even though they're two separate columns, they're exactly the same. Iste, io, imos, istais, and hieron. And if you recall the song from last year, iste, io, imos, hieron, which was the last part, even though you can't really see it. But the ER and the IR are the same. So we have our regular AR, ER, and IR endings. So if we take a look at the verbs hablar, hablé, hablaste, habló, hablamos, hablasteis, y hablaron. I spoke, you spoke, he or she spoke, we spoke, you all spoke, they spoke. Where we had the imperfect, yo hablaba, I used to talk or I used to speak. Comer, comí, comiste, comió, comimos, comisteis, comieron. Vivir, viví, viviste, vivió, vivimos, vivisteis, and vivieron. And if you notice, there's always an accent on the last letter or the ending in the yo form and also in the LAU stat form. I walked with my friends yesterday after school. Yo caminé con mis amigos ayer después de escuela. So if you see that keyword yesterday, it's telling us when it happened. It's a definitive point in the past. They camped last weekend. Ellos acamparon el fin de semana pasado. Again, a definitive time in the past, last weekend. Tyler swam last week. Tyler nadó la semana pasada. You and Formal lived in the house 2 years ago. Tú viviste en la casa 2 años pasados. My family and I ate dinner last night. Mi familia y yo cenamos or comimos la cena anoche. 2 days ago, the students sang in class. 2 días pasados, los alumnos cantaron en clase. So please notice you have things like yesterday after school, last weekend, last week, 2 years ago, last night, 2 days ago. We know exactly when in the past these actions took place. If you think about the keywords in the imperfect, we had in the past, when I was a kid, when I was 10, many years ago. All of those terms tell us that something took place in the past. We just don't know when. But something like yesterday or last weekend or last week, we know when that happened. So a couple of the irregulars. The verb ir is irregular in the preterite. Its preterite forms are exactly the same as the preterite form of ser. Hacer also has irregular forms in the preterite. These verbs don't have any accents. Now I know all of you know ir in the preterite. Here we go. Ir to go, ser to be, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, and fueron. Ir and ser have the exact same conjugations. Don't ask me why, it is what it is. So the way to tell the difference between which verb is in a sentence that's using ir or ser, you have to look at the context. Yo viajé a Costa Rica verano pasado. We know viajé comes from the verb viajar, which means to travel. So the model is telling us, I traveled to Costa Rica last summer. Fui con unas amigas. The context makes it clear that fui means what? If we're saying, yo fui con unas amigas, I went with some friends. So the context is going to tell you, is it ir or is it ser? Hacer is this verb to do or to make, which we know. So in the present tense, we have yo hago, tú haces, hace, hacemos, and hacen, right? I do my homework, you do your homework. In the imperfect, we would have hacía, hacías, hacía. But now in the preterite, we have hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicisteis, and hicieron. And this should sound familiar when I ask you that question. ¿Qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? What did you do last weekend, right? Oh, yo fui a la casa de mis amigos. Yo comí en un restaurante. The verbs dar and ver take the regular ir and er past tense endings in the preterite, but they have no accent marks as well. Any super irregular verb in the preterite has no accent marks. So dar, which we know means to give, di, diste, dio, dimos, disteis, and dieron. I gave, you gave, he or she gave, we gave, you all gave, they gave. Ver, to see, vi, viste, vio, vimos, visteis, and vieron. Again, no accents. I saw, you saw, he or she saw, you get the deal. The last piece of information for today, the car, gar, zar verbs. Regular verbs that end in car, gar, or zar have a spelling change in the yo form of the preterite to maintain the original sound of the verb stem. So sacar goes to QUE, gar goes to GUE, and zar goes to CE. So sacar in the yo form, we would get sake, pagar in the yo form, pagué, empezar, empecé. So we just have this minor spell change only in the yo form because we know AR verbs in the preterite, hasta, they end in an E. So we have to have this change. I took out, I paid, and I began. Okay, so again, car, gar, zar verbs only change in the yo form. We use the preterite endings for the rest. So buscar, busqué, buscaste, buscó, buscamos, buscaron, apagar, to turn off, or to put out if it's a fire, apagué, apagaste, apagó, apagamos, apagaron, almorzar, to eat lunch, almorcé, almorzaste, almorzó, almorzamos, and almorzaron. It's really important to notice that we know with a verb like almorzar, in the yo form in the present tense, if you want to say I eat lunch, we know we say yo almuerzo. In the preterite, there are no stem changers. So you're not going to have yo almuerce. Keep that O. There's no boot verbs for AR verbs in the preterite. It doesn't happen. So if we go to the practice, yo busqué la camisa roja. I looked for or searched for the red shirt. Yo empecé a cocinar a las 4 de la tarde. I started to cook at 4 in the afternoon. And yo jugué con mis primos la semana pasada. I played with my friends last week. So that's what we're going to get up to for today. So please listen to this as much as you need. Take a look at the filled in notes for Doc 9.1. And the slideshow is also going to be in Module 9. All this can be accessed in Module 9. And you're going to use this to complete Doc 9.2, which is going to be due on Tuesday, March 31st. All right, guys, I miss you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Adios.